Well, welcome back to our recap. It's now becoming kind of like the Paulina and Jackie show, but we also have a special guest today because we're doing ice dance, and Paulina and I need some help on ice dance, to be honest. So we got Kaylin Hawaii, DJ Kaylin Hawaii here. Um, she, you were on commentary this morning with John Luke.
That was my first experience with commentary, and it gives me a lot of appreciation for everything that goes on behind the scenes of a competition.
Well, you were also like bright and early, right? Too,
Yeah.
and many hours of ice dance commentary. So would you do it again?
Yeah, I loved it. It was really fun. I think, I'm a skating nerd. I said that to John Luke earlier. Like, I love watching and appreciating and seeing good quality skating. So I would absolutely do it again.
Well, we call ourselves the nerds. I mean, Pauline and I are the nerds. John Luke and I are the nerds. It's
So
just,
can I join that?
let's
family?
just
Okay.
we can just all be the nerds.
Perfect.
Okay, so we just saw the rhythm dance, and all 8 groups and 39 teams of the rhythm
Almost
dance. It was
6
a
hours.
lot of rhythm
Yeah.
dance. But you know what? This is the first time all season where I'm like, the music choices were very useful to us kind of like getting through 39 teams because this audience was just so great at every single program was just like high energy. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
Like they were just cheering the whole time. So amazing to see that. Let's talk about the top 4 because those were the top 4 that we were thinking was going to happen,
Yeah.
but maybe in a different order. Alina, what were you excited about and what were you impressed with?
I think one of my favorite things about the top 4 is how different all of their programs were. I think we saw so much variety. So that in and of itself made it really entertaining as a viewer. But Caitlin, how did you feel about all of the technical side of everything?
It's interesting because we were just talking, and in the entire event, I think Jackie said there was not a single level 4 given
For the pattern and for the step sequence,
Yeah. So step sequences, patterns, style, step sequence, no level 4. And I think that just comes to show the quality and the expectation that the judges and the tech panel have for that level of almost perfection that they expect in the sport. From a technical standpoint, I mean, in my opinion, chalk baits are as it's been seen in the scores today on a level of their own. The class, the superior overall package that they produce in their skating is 3 points above, 3+ points above what we saw with the rest of the teams. But I was really excited to see Lila and Lewis really in the mix today. That was a surprise third. I shouldn't say a surprise, but like maybe a wild card third place that they have leading into the free, and they are technically so consistent that seeing that them showing up to competition one time after the next, doing those programs in that almost perfect way, I think served them well tonight.
And I think they've also gotten stronger
Yes.
the last couple of seasons too, and their basics have gotten stronger. The Italians were the ones I thought just a little bit off sync
Yep.
the whole time, and Guignard and Fabry are known to be technicians. They're known to be there with all the elements, and so that was a surprise to me, and that ended up being the difference between those two. Like we ended up seeing the levels for the Italians go down a couple of times. Like the twizzles got leveled down, the pattern step got leveled down, and so there's just a lot of stuff happening with all of the technical protocols of it all, and that ended up being the huge difference. But like favorite programs.
It's so hard to choose. I'm gonna throw it to you first,
Okay.
so I can choose.
I mean, I definitely loved Piper and Paul's detail work in their kind of California retro
Surfer.
sunshine surfer program.
Barbie.
I loved the tiny details, but I also really loved the Czech team, Natalie Toshlarova and Philip Toshler. Their power and speed and just dance ability was really striking in
I
my
thought they were
opinion.
underscored.
Yeah, I also thought that they could have gone higher because I was just so impressed by them.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Over the last few years, especially the last 2 years, Christina and Anthony continue to impress me. You know, I think that they've shown a bigger versatility in their skating over the last few years and a consistency. I liked all the little nuances, the quick footwork in their free dance, their rhythm dance today. Other standouts for me were definitely, I mean, this is tracking back a little bit, but I really liked the Swedish team. They were earlier on in the
Oh, yeah.
program. You know, he came from freestyle, and showing that versatility and that ability to mold into a new discipline was so impressive to me.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, Rudd and Meyerhoff, you're talking about, like they have been kind of rising fairly quickly, and he's made a lot of improvements fairly
Yes.
quickly from being a single skater into a dancer. Olivia Tim, always I've really liked how that program has grown.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what was I thinking about? There was another program that I just really.
Caroline and Michael's Austin
Car-
Powers.
Caroline
I
and
thought
Michael
they
was great.
absolutely killed it today,
Yeah.
and I was kind of sitting near the front, like where the judges sit, from that perspective, to really get eyes on what it's supposed to look like for the judges. And I would say, like, the detail work in their program as well, like every moment was so on from start to finish. I was really wowed, so I thought they did great.
Okay, so now I remember what I was going to talk about. Loparieva Brousseau's program is one of my favorites.
Rasputin.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites of the season. The big problem that they had was on that lift. Like, a lot of people didn't actually see what happened on the lift because they were like, oh, they did the lift and it was just fine. But what ended up happening was it was a stationary lift. And so for it to be a stationary lift, you have to stay in one place. And he went into it just a little bit too much and overcooked the entrance. Took him like 2 rotations of traveling to actually get it back into place and get it in the hello and get it into position to get it into a stationary lift, which made it actually go from a level 4 to level 1, which was a problem with all of their marks. So a lot of just nuances of that. I wanted to touch on one thing, which is the qualification. 2 huge mistakes by teams that should be in the top 10. Turkila and Versuis and Reed and Ambrosius both had a huge error on their midline step sequence, and it ended up being the Finnish team were originally out of the free dance, and then the Lithuanian team went under them by 0.01. And so the consequences of that is Allison and Saul are going to need to go and qualify at that spot in Beijing in the fall, whereas now the Finnish teams, where they thought they had lost that second spot, they now have a chance to get that second spot.
It's going to be very challenging for them to get that second spot, but you never know.
Yeah.
And they have a great free dance,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting tomorrow.
They
but
have to move up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
have
it was a very jarring second to last group. I can say that for the least.
Yeah.
You know, 2 teams that you just expect top class from, and the smallest of mistake that makes the biggest of difference, or the biggest of
mistakes, right,
that
yeah.
make the biggest of difference. So
And it's ice dance, right? So like a fall really does hurt
Yeah.
a whole lot. So
It really speaks to the depth of the ice dance field as well, that something like that, a toe pick fall in the middle, freak falls. We're talking not like, you know, you didn't see it coming. If you looked down, you would have missed it. And now we have somebody completely out of qualifying for the free skate. That's crazy.
it's really great.
So it's really, really deep field here.
it is. I was saying that this morning when I was commentating. I mean, almost half the events didn't qualify today, and honestly, the top 20, this is a ballpark number, 26-30, are all fantastic skaters. So to see that amount of depth in ice dance, as an ice dancer, it's very exciting to me to see that level.
But you know, also very disappointing that a whole bunch of them don't get to go to the free
Yeah,
dance.
absolutely.
And frankly, a whole bunch of them don't get to go to the Olympics either because there are only 23 spots for the ice dance team.
And I've been there. I've been the first alternate for the Olympics, where you feel like you have the qualifications and the ability to be on that level, but there's only so many placements and so many countries' placements that allow it. So today was very interesting for that reason.
Well, let's end on a fun note. Maddie and Evan.
Oh,
I mean, the audience was just like out of control with that program. And what do you think they're thinking about going to free dance?
you know, I mean, I see them most every day training, and I think the thing that they do the best and when they skate the best is when they connect with each other and when they have that sense of calm, grounded energy where, yes, they know they have moments to connect with the crowd and be the storytellers that they are, but I think their connection to one another is really what grounds them and makes them the most stable and calm. So I really hope to see them tap into that tomorrow and go and perform a killer free dance, because their free dance is so unique. It's less in your face as some of their other programs they've done. There's nuances and so many details that I think it's going to be just such an entertaining performance in a new way for people.
Well, all right. I feel like we're getting played off the stage now with the music going on in the main arena. Paulina, any
Like
last?
the Oscars.
Yeah,
where they
exactly.
play you off.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Paulina, any last words, and we'll get to the ladies, the women's free skate.
I mean, I think that the energy was off the roof today for ice dance, and I'm really, really hoping that our women bring that in just an hour, right? We start so soon, the women's free skate.
So soon.
So excited. Stay tuned.
Okay, we're gonna go like get some refreshments. Come join us again. Caitlin, are you gonna come back for the free dance with us?
For the skate?
Or no, for the free dance tomorrow?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
We're gonna do a lot of stuff. So come join us for the recap of the women's free skate later on tonight, and then we'll have Caitlin back tomorrow for the free dance recap as well. So bye.
Bye, guys.